Hi guys, Andy N, the fantastic Goodnighttheskye. See, I remembered then. That's not bad going for me and Rhiannon, that. So straight over to Goodnighttheskye now. She's going to do 4 poems for us. Over to you, my friend.
Cool. This first poem is called Every Summer is the Last Summer of Something, and it's from my trio of poems, A Bouquet for Balance. Every summer is the last summer of something. At 23, I don't know when this season stopped being mine. It couldn't be when the gingham dress stopped fitting, but maybe when it started being sold again online. Every summer is the last summer of something. There was the June of smoking rubber soles and scorched feet, when the temporary huts were taken down after years of use, once the metal left pink burns on dead skin from white heat. Every summer is the last summer of something. For 2 months, the lush spaces became ours and ours alone, and lumbering grown-ups would sneak green-eyed, furtive glances on their way to broiling offices, or as they sweated their way home. Every summer is the last summer of something. Of filthy, frilly socks and no capacity for fear, destroying the trash castles made by August's lost children, so when they returned from big school, they'd know we conquered here. Every summer is the last summer of something. On my way to work, I scan the wild places for lacerated knees. Think a heat is coming, too adolescent to be tamed, and I'm relieved to hear the kids still shout a truce into the breeze. Cheers.
Excellent stuff, that. Really, really lyrical, that, Rhiannon. Definitely that one. So, do you find sometimes you look back at your stuff sometimes? I've always suffered from imposter syndrome with poetry sometimes. I think it's like, have I just wrote that? You do, you feel sometimes, don't you, when it's completed, don't you? So,
Yeah.
that's fantastic stuff, that. What was it like with that piece? Was it one of those ones where the title came first, or did that come much later on?
So I'm not very good at form. I'm not very good at meter or things
Hmm.
that are very strictly held together. Most of what I write is spoken word or free verse, which are pretty
Hmm.
loose. But I love the idea of refrains. I love the idea of repetition.
Yeah.
And so the closest I get to being strict about form is putting a refrain in my work. And I loved the idea of this repetition, especially in a piece that's about kind of misremembering your childhood as potentially more adventurous and like huge and epic than it maybe was. I like the idea of this refrain guiding you through that memory.
Yeah, it
I
works really
think,
well with the frame that straight away and tremendous
yeah.
stuff. So, okay, we'll move on now because I don't. I'm not going to ask you loads of deep personal questions about it. So I'm too polite. So over to you, my friend, for number two.
Cool. This is Little Rituals. It's about growing up believing in magic and superstition. I grew up guessing cards face down in the pack. 1 point for the colour, 2 for the suit, a high five if we identified one perfectly. There's one book that I will always lend or lose, whose reader found me on a beach in Wales once and guessed the chapter I was up to just by looking. I have felt the pebble sink of dread and coughed up rattle runes of truth and made the Moors my co-conspirators. There is a subtle spell work to pulling strings, and I've been tripping on loose threads for years, enough to unknot myself from my unraveling. I think that there are fairy folk among us who unspool silver and leave the earth a kinder place than they found it. And while I roll my eyes at horoscopes, I bathe myself in yellow light before exams and comfort myself with the thought that there are people who believe stranger things than this. Cheers.
Excellent again. Oh yeah, yeah. There is a lot of magic in your collection straight away with that. So I should have asked you that in the first half, and nope, not happened anyway. So, but is it okay? We'll ask you this one now then. So, on relation to magic, was this something that's always been of interest to you? Is it as a writer?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of I write about a lot of different themes. I write about queerness, I write about mental illness, I write about growing up working class. And these are all pretty divergent things, but the one commonality is that I like to populate these things with the fantastical. I don't know why I do it. I think it's a way of universalizing these experiences that maybe aren't universal, because even if you can't relate to like realizing that you like women, you can probably relate to the idea of like a love that feels like it's born of like fairy tale. You know what I mean? That's a thing that everybody has in their blood, is this understanding of fairy tales and these archetypes. And so using them creates distance. It makes it easier to write about difficult subjects, but it also universalizes and makes these poems hopefully more relatable to everybody. At least I hope.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's tremendous stuff. So, okay, on to number 3.
Yeah. Okay. This is called What You Don't See. In the fair coffee shop, the baristas have sharp teeth and the coffee isn't free. But you ask for lavender and they don't charge you any extra. They ask for your name, for the order. But you know better. So you hand over one that sat raw iron on your tongue for months and trust that they will find a better use for it. The blue-haired cashier gently receives it, then gleefully retreats to the kitchen to steep it into syrup or soften its harsh edges with vanilla. You tip extremely well, except no change that's in silver, stir in sugar anti-clockwise so as not to draw the ire of the manager, sit and sip in the corner by the wall with the world's most audacious houseplants. No one is allowed to lie here. So when they tell you you look beautiful, you know that they mean it. And with mischief, they say it most on the days you don't believe it. You find notes in the pockets of your coat. When you get home, it's spelt out in spilt cocoa or sung to you by strangers on the radio. The tray of brownies by the door says, take one, and you say, maybe next time. Everyone knows the power of a promise here, the weight of your words measured out in brass scales and lapped up by over-enthusiastic walls. When you leave, it feels like no time has passed at all. But you step out with purse and spirit lighter. Throughout your day, you get 5 phone numbers and 2 dates, and at the charity shop, you find a burnished yellow plate. And that's how you know that you are a favoured customer. Cheers.
Fantastic. Absolutely tremendous. And I love the way the references then, but the customer at the end of it, and that ties up really, really well, that one does. So excellent stuff. I'm not going to ask you what shop you're talking about there, particular.
It's you can. It's an indirect love letter to Flamingos, the queer coffee shop in Leeds.
No, excellent stuff. So, okie dokie, right, we'll wrap up now. We're on to part number 4. As I always say with Spoken Label, the big finale.
Oh, okay.
And not that I'm putting pressure on you, Rhiannon, of course.
No, don't worry. In that case, I'll change what I'm going to do. Here we go. This is that first aforementioned poem that I performed at my first ever slam. It's called Alien Skin. It's about having an anxiety disorder, but it shouldn't need a content warning, I don't think. Cool. Summer brings with it my alien skin. And indeed, this skin makes it hard to fit in, because indeed it's hard to fit in this skin, hard to pour myself in, which is a convoluted way to say I just can't win. And the sweltering heat makes it harder still. 1,000 suns sizzling meat, sweating seconds until due magnetic reversal goes in for the kill, and my alien skin saves no one but me. You see, I'm a stuttering staccato note in this corrugated symphony, in this Mad Max dystopia where sunshine frees me of all company. My skin can adapt, but never reaches what it strives to be. Its attempts at other life forms lack subtlety. Devour hungrily my attempts at conversation. Soon, my alien skin is all I can talk to. My exoskeleton a medicine for the fact there's nothing else to do, kicking nuclear reactors to feel something like a Valentine. It's asinine the way my life's now something to survive through. I'm eggshell invincible. Intangible without external validation, I'm still visible. September's fast approach and fast lunch, the punchline pinnacle, alien abduction in reverse. Rehearse human mannerisms and ready for the onslaught. These human mannerisms are not grown but taught. My alien skin doesn't like cold, doesn't fit as well as it used to. I'm breaking. I won't survive till Christmas break. My alien skin doesn't like colder climates, and for fractal fishes a touch is all it takes. My old skin raw and not ready to step up to the plate, show up late to class with a backpack and a porous sell-by date. Forced to become myself again. I reflect on what the word alien really means. Shrug on a thrift shop personality and tuck summer skin tatters into the seams. When I meet people I can speak to in this heavy earth tongue, I wonder if our atoms were close together when this universe spun to life. If soulmates are just cosmic clouds rife with complementary compounds, I hope so. It would be nice to know there are some for whom I'm familiar ground, who I can be myself around, because round these parts I'm still rounding up the parts of me I tried so hard to dumb down, but winter brings with it a skin of my own. Too bright and too tight to feel quite like home, but I'm learning. Peeling alien skin, revealing witching bones, muscles made of maidens and sinew made of crones. Halloween's approach, a chance to start anew, if not alone, and so. Let winter be a Volta. Let my skeleton be absolved and exposed and start over. Let the old new me lose novelty and the new old me get older, because this skin was so much safer, but these bones are so much bolder. Cheers.
What a finish. Oh, wow. Yeah, you can see straight away that was that was most definitely what you done as a performance piece, that one.
Yeah.
Some of the other ones were obviously perhaps more page-based.
Pagey. Yeah.
But that wasn't. It showed a great way of finishing off that today, Rihanna. It showed if people went to see you on stage, that's what I think you get a really good hint of what you'd be like. Oh, tremendous that one. So, anyway, listen, we're going to wrap up anyway now. So, I want to thank you again for today. It's been a pleasure. It's took too long. People are wondering.
Yep. It's been a joy and a pleasure, and thank you so much for inviting me. I'm thrilled we got to get this nailed down and that we finally got to do it. It's been great.
Only took about 4 years, but I know.
Yeah, only 4 years. Fine.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come back in another 4 years when you're at your 500th episode.
Well, probably I might have some hair left by that point as well. So, but anyway, listen, seriously, thank you again, Rhiannon. So, hang around, we'll go talk further anyway. So, but as Don Callis at Impact Wrestling, he's not actually Impact Wrestling anymore now. He's back at AEW. But anyway, he does say, I love this saying, it was great to wrap up with, stay safe and stay over. And we will see you all next time.